Hi there, students. What's the difference between diffident and self-conscious? Okay, if you are diffident, you lack self-confidence. You're not confident in yourself. And normally diffidence is a personality trait. This is something that is the way you are. It's a doubt about your own abilities. And this causes a person to be hesitant and reserved. However, if somebody is self-conscious, they're excessively aware of how other people see them. Being self-conscious is normally a temporary situation to a specific social situation. So I went to the party in a suit and a bow tie, and I was very self-conscious because everybody else was wearing jeans and a t-shirt. I don't know how you could turn up at a funeral in a pink suit. I certainly would be very self-conscious wearing something like that. And I think self-consciousness is something that's more temporary. You'll feel very self-conscious in a particular situation. So maybe you get up to make a speech and you feel rather self-conscious about making that. So you're concerned about people judging you. You're concerned about what people think of you. And it's being worried about how others perceive you. It's not necessarily that you lack self-confidence, but what do they see? How can they see it? And this being self-conscious can make you feel embarrassed or nervous. So a diffident person is shy because they don't trust their own abilities. Whereas a self-conscious person, they feel exposed. They're worrying about the judgment of other people. And I think that's really the difference. Diffident is a lack of self-confidence, being a shy and modest person. Whereas if you're self-conscious, you're overly aware about what other people think of you. So both of these refer to insecurity, but there's a very different focus. Diffident is about personal confidence, whereas self-consciousness is being aware of what other people think. So if somebody is diffident, they're normally shy. This is a modest, reserved person. And a diffident person has problems asserting themselves in social situations. So I think if you call somebody diffident, it's either endearing that you actually love this person because they don't impose themselves, or it can be negative. It depends on the context. Whereas self-consciously is overly aware of yourself, particularly in a social situation. You feel awkward and uncomfortable because you're worried about how other people can see you. And this self-consciousness can lead to being embarrassed or insecure. So diffident, lacking confidence, whereas self-conscious is about insecure about your image. Diffident, shy and reserved. Self-conscious, uncomfortable and awkward in a situation. So a diffident person is a modest person, whereas a self-conscious person can feel embarrassed. I think a diffident person is less aware of what other people are thinking, whereas self-conscious person is only thinking about what others are thinking. So if you're diffident, you may avoid speaking up in a group of people, whereas someone who's self-conscious feels uneasy about what everyone's saying. You're worried. They're worried about their appearance or their actions, or they're worried about what other people think of them. So, diffident, from Latin diffidentum, diffidere, to mistrust, diffidere. So, away or not trust. Also, diffident, I think, is more formal than self-conscious. Diffident, I would give a 6.5 in formality, whereas self-conscious, I would give it a 5 in formality. And it's self-conscious. You're conscious of yourself. Excessively aware about what people think about your behaviour or your appearance. The diffident student avoided speaking up in class. He approached the job interview with a diffident attitude. The diffident puppy hid in the corner of the room. She had a diffident smile after receiving praise. His diffident nature made it difficult for him to make friends. She felt self-conscious in her new dress at the party. He became self-conscious when he realised that everybody was staring at him. The actor was self-conscious about his physical appearance on camera. I always feel self-conscious when giving a presentation in front of a large audience. So, diffident versus self-conscious. Bye for now.